Disclaimer. This story contains potential spoilers for the Dungeons & Dragons module Out of the Abyss by Green Ronin and Wizards of the Coast. If you're still playing or want to play this adventure in the future, don't watch this video. You have been warned.
Sometimes it's not easy to motivate your player characters. It can be especially difficult if you're managing a solo player campaign. In today's story, I had to experience this the hard way. I thought I could bring out the righteousness of our paladin Junius with the help of a small encounter. Unfortunately, the thing developed into something else than anticipated, as it is often the case when DMing a campaign, but see for yourselves. The characters are on the way to Menzoberranzan, the city of spiders, and the capital of the Drow. They are going there on behalf of Vizerin de Veer, an old Drow wizard. He told the group to go there to acquire the grimoire of the former Archmage of Menzoberranzan and bring it to him. The group has been on the move for quite some time when they arrive in a big cave full of mushrooms that light up the vicinity, a mossy floor and some water sources springing from the cavern walls and gathering in little puddles. They settle down for a bit when they hear footsteps coming from the north side of the cave. Soon enough, a figure runs into the cave. It is a Drow elf that looks fairly exhausted. The group looks at each other suspiciously as the Drow approaches them.
Why are you here?
Have we met before? The elf breathes deeply and pulls something from her head and reveals her disguise. The group can now see a high elf that used the head of disguise to mask herself as a Drow. Junius' eyes light up. Fun fact, he's been looking after exactly this item for quite some time now. Oh great! We're on our way to Menzoberranzan and I still need something to disguise myself. I'll give you 500 gold for that hat.
There's no time for that now. My name is Kalessa Draga and I'm here to stop you from entering the city of Menzoberranzan.
And where would you do that?
A Drow army from the city is on its way over here. If you turn back right now, you can escape in time.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, I would really like to buy that hat, so can you just tell me your price, please? I can pay really well. Just in this moment, the sound of lots and lots of footsteps echoes through the cave.
They're coming. Go hide quickly. Maybe I can keep them in line for a short while.
The group does exactly the opposite, proceeding to stay where they are. And after a short moment of waiting, the steps get louder and louder, the echo is fading, and a huge army of Drow, goblins, hobgoblins, some orcs and other creatures storm into the cavern. Right in the middle of them, a human is getting dragged along. He looks ragged, beaten, and is in chains. Kalessa cries out and calls his name. The human looks up to her and the group. Obviously, the two must know each other. Well, here I thought that the inner paladin of Junius, who should bring law and order to the world, who represents Sylvanas' ideals to help creatures in need, to care for the course of nature and that people don't get murdered without any reason, could burst out, but no. The whole thing developed, as I said beforehand, a bit differently.
Alanor!
Well, if that ain't little Miss Draga, I knew you were a shady one to say the least. And you are? What are you doing here? Well, we were actually on our way to Menzoberranzan. And you really think that I'm going to let a bunch of little maggots like you set foot in our holy city? Back away now, or this man will die right in front of your eyes. Okay, and why should we care? I have no idea who that is anyway. Fine. You Drow, listen, let him go or else the might of my god will send you to purgatory. As if a tiny, disgusting surface dweller could do us any harm. Alright then, you can all die instead. Junius grabs his necklace that he found some time ago, a necklace of fireballs. It allows a user to take off the little beads that are connected to it and throw them onto an enemy to cast a fireball on impact. The more beads are used, the stronger the fireball spell gets. He breaks off one of the beads and throws it directly into the crowd of enemies. Immediately, the drowned remaining soldiers start to panic. A large amount of goblins and other, less tanky creatures perish on impact of the fireball. Unfortunately, Kalessa and Alienor have also been standing inside the spell's radius, and are unconscious for now. The battle begins, but the only ones who are able to do anything against the group are the elite soldiers and the single Drow mage in the army. So, it is a very one-sided battle that Junius and friends decide in their favor pretty quickly. Here and there a fireball gets cast, the mage is able to shoot one or two lightning bolts against the group, but in the end the drow are getting smoked out of existence. After the situation has calmed down a bit, Kalessa and Alienor are still lying on the ground unconsciously. Junius rolls his eyes, suppressing the fact that he's still a paladin of Sylvanos, and gives a single hit point each to both the elf and the human using his Lay on Hands ability.
What happened? Is it over?
Yeah, nothing to speak of honestly. Now can you finally sell me your hat, pretty please?
We just got attacked. We almost died. And you still only care about my hat?
Kalessa looks across to Alienor, who's trying to pull himself together, but hardly manages to do so. She jumps up, walks over to him, helps him up and says,
"Don't worry, Alia. Everything is going to be okay. It's over, you hear?"
"Look, I'll give you 600 gold, okay? Last offer." She looks at him with disgust.
"Let's go."
Both leave the cavern. Great. What now? How can we enter Mensa Baransan if you're not disguised?
Well, we could still act like we're your slaves, I guess.
Jimja. Huh? What's up? I bet on 100 gold that you won't be able to run after those two and steal that elf lady's head of disguise. Jimja, the Swift Neblin rogue, starts sweating a bit, gets a bit nervous even. He loves to bet. It's one of his minor flaws that he never misses a chance. I don't know, man. 200 gold then. I'll be right back. He runs off into the darkness. Me, the DM, rolls a sleight of hand check for him. And of course, he rolls a natural freaking 20. A few minutes later, the group hears the Deep Gnome returning, holding an old felt hat in his hands. Junius puts it right on to celebrate his evil master plan, and the story ends, for now. Well, here's the thing that I learned on that day. In the future, I will make sure to ask players in between sessions about their character motivations and will build my encounters around those. The whole situation described in the story didn't turn out too paladin-like. Oh well. Guys, if you want to hear more stories about our foolish tales, please leave us a like and don't forget to subscribe. There even is a bell you can click on so that you're able to watch our videos even faster. So do yourselves and us a favor and click on that bell icon. Also, what were your player motivation fails that you had to experience so far? Leave us a comment below and amuse us. We also have some more videos for you over here, or this one for example, right down here. Other than that, as always, have a good one.